Welcome friends to your YouTube channel Profit Pattern. Let's start with analyzing the market movement, and along with that we are going to discuss and understand the sectorial performance. So let's first start with the indices, how our indices, the major indices is doing. So let me populate the chart for Nifty. So you can see that Nifty has formed three wide range candle, very strong candles are there. They are, you can see, they are forming back to back. These are kind of three white soldiers, and they generally indicate that market is having very good demand right now. And even the last weekly candle, you can see it has closes above the last high. So that was a resistance, and it has tried to close just above the high of that. So it is a very good indication. It is very good indication of demand also. And also you can see that the market has taken support right from the 30 weekly moving average. We can see very good demand over here, and this is the time I have just indicated you that market can take a reversal from here, and we are going to see the V-shaped recovery. So V-shaped recovery, you can see that market has given very wonderful recovery from here, and it was only we discuss about this kind of reversal, and also the exact point from where we anticipated that market can reverse from here. So let's stop praising ourselves and discuss some, the fruitful informations that can help you in the coming days. So guys, for you, I'm going to discuss the sector performance, and then we will conclude how these sectors are doing and how we can the participate in coming days for some swing trading, or even if you are doing some derivative kind of trading in options and future, then you can plan accordingly. So this is the reality sector. You can see that reality sector has also taken very, the nice demand over the 30 weekly moving average, and now it is heading higher. But as you see, the Nifty is showing very strong, the candles, weekly candles. The reality sector has not formed that strong candles yet, except the last week candle. So in the last week, the very few stocks were performed very good, like the Azmera Reality and Oberoi Reality were there. Even the Sobha developers, you can see they are performing very good. They are leading this time. So you should, the focus on those sectors, those stocks who are leading this movement. So they can give you, the very good movement, because the momentum would be there, and definitely you would like to catch the momentum for very good gain in smartly and in the very short term period. So yeah, it is almost, it has taken the this wide range, the black candle, and it is closing in the mid range, upper mid range of this candle. So it is very good sign from the reality sector also. Let's see how the IT sector is doing. So IT sector was the first sector who, they started leading this time from when the market was giving the correction. And you can see earlier it was also performing, and now it has played very important role, and it has given a breakout. So still it is in the very good shape, and we were expecting some pullback. That pullback has already happened. So you can see it on the daily time frame. That will give you a very good picture. So let me populate the daily chart, and you can see over here that how this index has been doing. So this was the breakout, and after the breakout it has tested the previous, the breakout area. So this is a kind of pullback, and after the pullback stock, the index is doing some consolidation, and maybe it can start its it can resume its up journey also. But no doubt it is under the consolidation. So accordingly we will play, we will list only few stocks from this sector, and then accordingly we will build the position. Let's move on the next sector. The next sector is the infra is doing very good performance. It is the second sector which I liked after the IT. So IT started, and even before the IT, the infra stocks were, started doing some good movements. They started giving some good movements. And this time, the small cap and mid cap were starters. So large cap were sleeping, but the small cap and mid cap were the starter of this sector, and they are still performing very good. So this sector is very good, but we are expecting some, the pullback over here because it has given very good movement. So it would be very good to get some pullback in this area. This is a very, the good area, and if we get at least up to this area a pullback and then price resume, that would be, the better sign, and that would be a very good strength for this, and that would be better for us in terms of risk and reward for taking position in that sector's stock. The next sector is the service sector. So service sector has already moved, and it has started doing some, the uh, retracement. So that is a very good sign. It is doing that. Let's move on the energy sector. So energy sector, of course, it is going to give us very good, the movement in coming days, because a lot of talks are being, uh, carried out in the city on the energy sector, and only on the basis of those talks, there are so many YouTubers, there are so many, the social media influencers, they are picking some energy sector stocks and giving that. Some penny stocks are being recommended by those social media influencer. I would warn you guys, be very careful. Never ever, add your hard earned money. At least you should not go beyond 5%. If you are interested, then, reduce the size of allocation to these penny stocks, because there would be some reason, and that's why they are trading at very low prices. So mind those things. Their, the performance, their businesses, and their the management things, whatever we don't know about those things, something would happen, bad to those organization, and that's why they are trading at lower prices. So if you are willing to take the advantage of penny stocks movement, because right now they are seeing very, the good momentum, and they are giving the double triple kind of return in very few days, because they are performing the upper circuits on every day. So if you want to participate in those stocks, play wisely and do not allocate more than, the 4 to 5% of your capital in those stocks. Be very careful. So guys, the energy is a very good performing sector right now still, and we are expecting, some good movements. Even the Adani Power has started moving. The Tata Power has already given us more than 12%, because we entered at very, the good strength when it has started, giving the upside movement. So in the JP Power, we have already made some position, and we are getting, the 75% from there. So that is very good. Let's talk about, some other sectors. The PSU bank. So PSU bank, from the PSU bank counter, I have, the only two peaks, and that I have already shared you guys. The first one was the SBI bank, and SBI has already given us, the 12 to 13%. And then the second bank was the Canara Bank. So Canara Bank is very good, and it is also giving us 15% gain. So that is fine. We are going to, trail that, because we are expecting more returns from the Canara Bank. So let's move on some other sectors. So this is the metal sector. This one is the most, demanding sector for us, because we have made the, the SIP position last month, I guess, and we added. Let me pull that information. So this was the PDF file. Actually, this PDF file has got updated on the 31st December, but I have shared you the same information, the Nifty weightage, not the Nifty weightage, the metal sector weightage stocks, and that was the old file. This file is updated one, and from this we allocated our capital, and we did some SIP in metal sector last month. So our idea was to add, the month wise position into these stocks, and we picked the top 5-6 stocks from here, right? So we have done 3 SIP in this, and we have planned that we will do 9 to 10 SIPs in the metal sector. As of now, the Tata Steel is giving very good return. Hindalco is also giving us the very good return, and also the other stocks has started, but these two are giving very good result to us. These were the stocks we have already started doing SIP, and once guys, still because the metal sector is doing the consolidation, so once this consolidation is complete and we see the breakout is happening at this level, then we are going to add our SIPs again. So we have halted our SIP because at the time when we started, the metal sector start underperforming, so we stopped our SIP. We have did the 3 SIPs so far, so 6-7 SIPs are pending, and that we will start doing again once we see the breakout is happening in the metal sector. Let's move on the other sector. So this is the private bank. Private banks are trying to head higher, and ICICI and Axis Bank are the very good stocks. They are performing very good. The Kotak Bank is going to give more assistance to these banks, and if trio, the Axis Bank, ICICI Bank and Kotak Bank, at least they keep their performance as of now what they are doing, then we are going to see some good gain in private index also, in the Nifty Bank private index also. The next one is the media. I do not trade in this sector and I don't like this, so let's skip this. The next sector is the auto sector. So in the auto sector we have already added some stocks. The Mahindra and Mahindra was our the first pick, and Maruti stock I have already shared that, even that in the public groups also at very good level, and we are seeing 10% plus movement in that. So there were some other stocks from the auto sector. Minda Industry was one of them. In the Minda Industry itself, we got 25% plus reward, and there are some other stocks which we picked when other peoples were having fear of the falling the indices, because we saw that some strength were building in those structures of those stocks, and that's how we picked that. So what about the coming week? It was the past, so let's not talk about the past moments. So how this auto sector can perform? So auto sector has already moved a lot. This was the area, so we are expecting some, at least the consolidation in this. Budget is coming, and due to budgets the auto sector gets hamper also. The budget is influencer for auto sector, so we don't know how the policy maker will make the policy and how that policy is going to impact the auto sector. So that's how we may see some the consolidation for a few days, and then after and the budget day, or after the budget information, we may see some very good significant movement. But no doubt the electric vehicle the news is giving very good strength to auto industry, and Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motor, these two are the very good stocks. I am very much fond of these two stocks, and I used to trade in those stocks. Trade means the swing trade, and also I have built some good investment portfolio in these two stocks. The same was shared to you guys when the prices were very lower, and even in the recent time I shared that what I am doing. So all those information I share you in the form of knowledge bytes. So it's up to you how you take that knowledge bytes information and how you do that. So this is the pharma. So in the pharma and FMCG, I was expecting at least that if market continues to do the correction, these two sectors will come forward to handle the situations. And indeed, they started doing not the FMCG little bit, few selective stock like the small cap and mid cap stocks started Amritanjan was there, and some other stocks were there. But on the large cap, if we talk about the Hindi Unilever, Colpal, that is the Colgate, and some other stocks, they were still doing the consolidation. Though Britannia has started, you can see the chart of Britannia. I'm not going to pull that chart right now, but I'm just explaining you the things. Britannia started showing little strength, but still large cap has to give a very good sign for their the coming sessions. And in the pharma, you can see we just capture a very nice pattern that was a wolf wave pattern, and on the basis of wolf wave pattern we have seen some a good movement into that. And Arvindo Pharma and some other stocks were in our radar, and we got very good movement in those stocks. See, I do not talk about the Sun Pharma because I have already given you to that. Sun Pharma and Cipla. These two stocks I have already given at very low prices. So I do not talk because right now they are at good price. So I at least hope that you might be getting very good profit on that also. So after that, this is giving a good correction. So it is consolidating, and the supply and demand area is nearby. So unless until it goes away from this supply and demand area, this is the area, we are just considering it as a normal performing sector, or you can say the underperforming sector. It is not a very good performing sector, these two, the FMCG and pharma. Yeah, of course, if the market has given the correction, then these two have must have come forward. But since market is gaining the strength, so these two are now being set aside by the momentum trader, because the momentum trader used to like trade in high beta counter, and the high beta counter like the metal, you can see the banks finances, they are also moving in upside. So most of the momentum trader are uh, getting the affected by those sector, the high beta counters. And after those high beta sectors, some defensive counters like the IT is there. So IT was also performing good, so people were the incorporating their uh, trade setup in those sectors. So that's how people manage. The next sector is the consumption sector. As I told you, the FMCG and consumption. So these two has to perform in coming days, but still they are trying to show the some strength. FMCG in the bad situation right now, but the consumption sector is in the very good situation because some consumption stocks are doing very good right now. Let's move on the FMCG because we have already talked about it. So FMCG, you can see that FMCG is just consolidating in this area, and once this area is successfully transited, then only we will see some movement is coming in the large cap stocks like Hindustan Unilever, Godrej Consumer, and not the Godrej Consumer, the Hindustan Unilever, Colgate, and these kind of counters. So this was the study for the sectorial performance. We saw that the metal is about to give a breakout. So our eyes will be on the metal sector in the coming days. So let's populate some stocks from the metal sector and see how they are doing. So let me populate that, the metal stocks. So this is the metal sector, and we are going to see how this one is doing. So Hindalco is in very good strength, and Hindalco has already moved a lot. Still it is in the, it seems in the very good momentum, and it can give us a good moment. The tin plate was the another stock which started earlier, and it was the icebreaker, I would say. So we can have eyes on this. We already have a position at very low prices. We have added it earlier also the old swing members knowledge bites guys knows that the next stock was the National Aluminium. So it has formed a very nice structure of head and shoulder, and then after you can see it has moved. Also, it was a part of VSA study. So the students who has learned from the profit pattern, they knows it how we trade that. And the next stock is the Hindustan Copper. So we are not, interested in that, and we have not built position in this stock. The sale, yeah, we have built some position, and that one is not doing good right now. So we are waiting to add more ships. So sale was as an item in our SIP list. The Jindal Steel and Power, this one is going to rock, guys. So please add it in your watch list to this stock. This stock is going to perform very good in the coming days. It has started forming the good structure. You can see the high structure is being formed in this, and also this structure is looks like it is a variation of the rounding bottoms, and if you consider the latest one, you can consider it as a curve with handle pattern. So it is very good pattern it has formed, and also in the past we can see the very good consolidation in this. So we are expecting some good movement from this stock, so keep eyes on this. The VDL, we have already got very good position, the profit, and then after the stock started doing the consolidation. So when we did the SIP, then after we saw very good movement and we were in the profit, then after the stock has started doing some consolidation, some news were there. So it happens, we are not going to add the position unless until the metal sector is not giving the breakout. The JSW Steel, this one is another stock. It can also start performing very good because it has already consolidated a lot. So we are going to keep eye on that. Tata Steel, it has given us a very good profit because we did the SIB somewhere here, and then after we are seeing around at least in my profile I am getting 9% profit. So I hope you would have also added at the right time, and your profile will be also the 8 to 9% at least. Then some other counters. I'm not going to talk about the NMDC because I generally do not like trading in the the PSUs of metal counters. So Hind Zinc, no, we don't. Then the next stock was the Coal India. So we added some position over here. See, I am picking this stock because I have shared you this list, the metal sectors corporating stocks by their weightage, and we have allocated our capital in this, the weight percentage. So we picked 6 stocks. Few of you have taken entry into the 4 stocks, 5 stocks. That's fine. But me, I have taken the entry in the 6 stocks. So I have Coal India in my list, and this stock, the Steel Authority of India. Earlier, I guess I added in some position into it because I have old position in this and this Jindal Steel. So I have old position. So I have not eliminated that because these two were the part of my investment. So these are also there, but as an investment, not as a swing trading or a SIP trading. But these 6 stocks are in our positions, right? So coal is also going to perform very good, guys. And the last week we played out through the options, and we made our capital thrice. So it's actually the very bad practice to say that we made our capital twice thrice. But see, the people understand in this language only, and yeah, I really I don't like saying that we made twice thrice. We should say that we made very good reward from the options trading in the coal, and still coal is looking very uh, good shape. So in the coming time we may get some good reward from here. And the weekly chart, you can see it has just started its movement. So we are still waiting for the crossing of this area. Once this area will be crossed, then some the strong momentum will be built by some other participants also, and then we will see good movement is coming in this counter. So that's what we wanted to discuss today. If you have any question regarding stock specific or sector specific, then you can throw that to me. Uh, just write the comment. I will try to answer that. And before moving that, let's discuss about the CNX 500. So how this is doing. So this was the old study. If you remember, we have already did it. So this was our study, and we were expecting that once this index will cross this pivot point area, then we will feel that it has given some strong indication to us that yes, market is trying to sustain in this area, market is trying to go upside. But guys, for a proper, the risk reward kind of trading setups, we need very good pullback over here. Some pullback is expected, and it would be very good if it gives pullback right now and it tests to this area, and then after it resumes its up journey. So that would give you the very good opportunity to enter stocks on the pullback, and there we will get very good risk and reward. As of now, we have started positioning and we are trading with our 35 to 45, 35 to 40% capital. And in the last week, I guess I communicated you that I have started making positions with 50 to 60% of my capital. So earlier our barrier was 30 to 35%. Now I have given more allocation to my position sizing, and we are at least using our 50 to 60% capital for the position building. But guys, be alerted, because it has already moved a lot and the budget counter is near, so news is there, and in the lieu of that we may see some consolidation or some pullback. So if pullback will happen, you know then that small cap and mid cap has started their journey, so they have moved a lot. Large caps, some large caps are doing good, like Infra, TCS, and some other large caps has done very good job. But some defensive counters from the pharma, FMCG, they will start performing, at least I guess, during the pullback session. And in this pullback session, the mid cap and small cap stocks would be correct highly. So be very careful with your positioning and eye on the pullback setups. So once the pullback will happen, we will get very good opportunity and we will build very good positions as per the confirmation from the market. So wait for the opportunity and also be careful for the pullback also, because pullback may happen and that would be very rapid, at least because we have seen a very rapid movement, so we are expecting a rapid pullback also. So that's it for today, and hope you would have enjoyed